Hello students, welcome back to Global Online. Once again, I have come up with the short MCQs on very demanding chapter of NTA UGC NET, that is FDI and FPI. Correct? So in this session, we are going to discuss some of the MCQs which is covering the FDI and FPI chapter. If you have not covered that chapter, please watch this video till the end. Your all concept of these two chapters will be covered in this session. Okay, and one more thing I would like to tell you that
So if you are preparing for the upcoming NTA UGC NET examination from management and commerce background, we have come up with the right preparation strategy for you, in which the experts will guide you, will give you right direction how you will crack this examination, even if you are preparing for the first time for this examination. Okay, in this complete course we are providing you the complete video lectures in which your all concepts of paper 2 will be covered. Then you will be provided with the syllabus, full syllabus notes. All the 10 units of your paper 2 will be covered in that. Okay, you can also read those notes when you are traveling or whenever you want to. If you have notebook, if you have notepad, mobile phone, tablet, laptop, wherever you can have access to those. Mock tests will be provided to you, so you will practice more and more, and then your confidence will build more. Okay, and you will be able to answer the tricky questions, moderate to hard level questions, any questions. PYQs will be provided with the right explanation of it, so you will understand the examination pattern, from which topics the more questions are coming out, and what is the exact right answer and why. All the explanation will be provided. Doubt clearing sessions will be there, in which you can ask the questions to your experts will guide you, and you will prepare better. Marathon sessions also will be there. Okay, so this is complete course for your upcoming NTA UGC NET examination if you are preparing for the December attempt. Okay, what you need to do, just join the course. To join the course you have to message on this number, just WhatsApp your what we can say, just write a message on a WhatsApp number or give a missed call on a WhatsApp number. You will be guided. Okay, and start your preparation from today. You will be totally completely ready for the examination till the exam, right?
all right. So this is first question on your screen. Which of the following qualifies as a foreign direct investment? So four options we have, and one of them or two of them or three of them or maybe all of them are points which are covering or which are stating that this is the FDI. Okay, a foreign company acquiring 15% equity in an Indian company. B, purchase of Indian government bonds by foreign institutions. C, investment in Indian stock market through mutual funds. And D, establishing a new manufacturing plant in India by foreign firms. Options are like only A and D, only B and C, only ABC, or all of the above. So the right answer is option A, that is A and D only correct. Okay, when you have 15% equity in Indian company and establishing a new manufacturing plant in India by foreign firms, right? So these are the two types of FDIs that we have already seen in the theory session, right? See, FDI actually involves at least 10% equity should be there in Indian companies to call it as a FDI. That is important. Then option A qualifies as a FDI because the foreign firms acquire 15% equity. Correct. Minimum criteria is 10%, and it is the in the option we have seen this, it is 15%. Right. So obviously it is there. It is called as a FDI, right? Option D qualifies because establishing plant is direct investment, right? And B and C are passive investment. These are not FDI, but it is called FPI, right? But the question was asking the options which are qualifying as a FDI. So only uh, A and D is qualifying as a FDI, correct? Because one is having 15% investment and second is actually establishing a manufacturing plant, correct? Next, which of the following statement is or are true about FPI and FDI as well? FDI is a long term investment, FPI is a more volatile than FDI. FDI brings in managerial control. FPI involves active control of business. Okay, options are AB, ABC, BCD, or all of the above. So right answer is option B, that is ABC. A, B, and C. Okay, FDI is a long-term investment, that is correct. FPI is more volatile than FDI, that is also correct. FDI brings in managerial control, correct. Okay, FPI involves active control of a business. No, that can be happen in FDI when you are establishing a manufacturing plant over there. Correct. See, FDI is intended for long term, right? Presence and often includes management control or participation. In contrast, FPI is a quick in and out. Okay, once you have invested for short term, you have what we can say, withdraw all the money, that is done. That is called FDI. Okay, quick in and quick out, and hence more volatile. That is why it is called volatile, because it's not for a long term, it is for short term. Once you have investment for some time, you will withdraw your all money with the profit. Correct? That is happening in the FPI. FPI does not allow investor and any say in how the company is run. So D is incorrect. Okay. So basically, FPI is not like that thing where you have a business in another company, or sorry, another country, and you're having a manufacturing hub or anything. Okay, it's not like that. It is happening only in a long term period, that is from FDI. Okay, that the source is FDI, but FPI is just an investment where you can invest in another company in another country. Okay, that is only FPI. Next, which of the following are benefits of FDI for the host country? Right, employment generation, technology transfer, sudden capital outflow, improvement in foreign exchange reserves, and skill enhancement. Right, right answer is option A, B, D, E. Right, C is not there. See, FDI can help the host country by generating jobs, bringing new technology, strengthening foreign exchange reserves. Right, these all points we have already discussed in the theory sessions. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and just go to the description box. You will find a link over there. Okay, click on that link and watch the previous videos as well, because it is very important that you should clear your concept. Okay, obviously through the MCQs we'll cover it, but the more and more points will be covered in the theory session only. So watch that video as well, so you will be covering the whole topic. Correct. Next, it also leads to training and skill enhancement for local workers. However, sudden capital outflow is more associated with FPI, not FDI. Correct. Next, which of the following sectors in India attract the highest FDI inflow as per recent trends? Right? Service sector, telecom, retail trading, computer software and hardware, and education. See, this question is most important. Make it most important. Okay, this question. So, right answer of this question is option C, only A and D. Right? Service sector, computer software and hardware. These are the sectors in India attracts the highest FDI inflow. Right? In recent years, India has received maximum FDI in service sectors like finance services, consultancy, and IT software industries as well. Right? While telecom, retail do attract FDI, they are not top contributors. Actually, where it is services, whether it is IT softwares, whether it is telecom, retail, okay, all are coming in India as through the FDI. But services and IT, like IT is also a service sector, right? These are the industries which are coming maximum in India, okay, as compared to telecom and retail as well. Correct. Education has FDI limits and receives less investment comparatively. So basically, Education has its limits. That much of education facilities or services only available, okay, to come in India. uh, Along with that, sorry, apart from that, okay, or exceeding that limit is not available or not allowed in India actually. Correct. Next, which of the following are routes through which FDI can be brought into India? Automatic route, government approval route, hybrid route, strategic route, or brownfield investment? Correct. Right answer is option B, that is ABE. Right, hybrid route, strategic route is not considered. India allows FDI via automatic route, no prior approval. Correct. And government route needs approval, that we have discussed, okay, in the theory session. Brownfield investment is a type of FDI, right, which is referring buying or expanding existing assets and in common in FDI mode. Correct. Brownfield, that means you are acquiring the existing company or existing business. That is your type of FDI, brownfield, right? We have already covered all the types like horizontal, then we have vertical, right? We have brownfield, right? We have then what is it? And some of the types of FDI we have already discussed in the theory session. Okay, all the FDI types we have discussed, right? Greenfield is also there. Okay, so go and watch that videos as well. Hybrid and strategic routes are not recognized official categories. Okay, next, which of the following statements differentiate FDI from FPI? This is very important. Okay, this is also we should make it as a important. FDI leads to capital information, FPI does not. FDI is illiquid, FPI is liquid. FDI is speculative, FPI is strategic. FDI includes physical assets creation, FPI does not. Okay, so the right answer is option A, ABD. Correct. See, FDI creates productive assets like factories or offices, improving capital infrastructure. Right here, you can see, right? It is not easily liquidated, unlike FPI, which is highly tradable and hence more liquid. Correct. FPI is speculative, so C is incorrect. Speculative. Here it is saying FDI is speculative. No, FPI is speculative. Okay. Next. Which of the following may be negative impact of FDI on a host country? A. Repatriation of profits, monopoly or market domination, technology transfer, cultural erosion, or exploitation of natural resources. So the right answer is option A, B, D, E. Apart from C, all are correct, we can say. Okay, C is not correct, but all are correct. While FDI has many benefits, there are some challenges too. Okay, like profit repatriation, reducing forex, dominance of foreign firms, hurting domestic industries, and exploitation of culture or resources. Right? Sometimes FDI are coming in India or coming in the other country. Okay, FDI is possible in every country. Correct. So they may exploit the cultural or resources, the natural resources, or that if that country, a particular country where FDI is coming, in that country the natural resources are maximum, those can be exploited. Correct, in terms of raw material, understanding. So it is challenging too. Technology transfer is actually a benefit, not a negative. The question is asking about the negative impact. Okay, so these are negative impacts. Correct. Technology transfer, how it is negative? It should be positive, right? Next, which of the following qualify as FPI? Now FPI. The same question was asked, the first question about FDI. Now it is asking about FPI. Foreign investor buying shares on Indian stock exchange, foreign investor buying debentures of an Indian economy, foreign entity acquiring 12% equity in an Indian firm, foreign mutual fund investing in Indian bonds, foreign company buying real estate for personal use in India. Okay, so right answer is option A, that means A, B, and D only. Okay, C is not correct, A is also not correct. Okay, FPI includes financial instruments like shares, debentures, bonds that don't provide management control, right? So here you can invest like in another country. You can share, you can invest in shares, you can invest in debentures, you can invest in bonds as well. This is called FPI investment. Okay, C, that means 12% qualifies as FDI because it exceeds the 10% threshold. Correct? Here in the question, the 12% was asked in the C option. That is why we selected as a incorrect answer for that. E is neither FDI not nor FPI. Real estate for personal use is not categorized under either. Correct. See the question. Foreign company buying real estate for personal use in India. Here, two things, one thing is important for personal use. It's not for business, it's not for investment, right? So it should not be considered as a FDI and FPI as well. Next, which of the following are features of FDI and not FPI, right? This is kind of a confusing question. Okay, if it is the features of FDI, why they have asked not FPI? Why they have written here, over here, that it is not FDI's features? Okay, they could have said like which of the following are features of FDI only. Okay, and then full stop, nothing else. But to confuse you, okay, this kind of question can be asked. Which of the following are features of FDI and not FPI? And they will give you some kind of options related to the FPI, but you need to understand the question first, right? So what we need to do in this question, we need to find out the features of FDI only and we need to ignore the FPI. Correct. Bring in entrepreneurial skills, subject to sectoral caps in India, cannot be withdrawn easily, associated with long-term relationship, bring in volatile capital flows. The right answer is option A, B, C, D. A, B, C, and D. E is not correct. Okay, this is related to the FPI, not FDI. Okay, see, FDI is a long-term commitment, so in that reason we bring it technologies and expertise as well and skills as well. In subject to caps in certain sensitive sectors. Okay, it is a subject to caps in certain sensitive sectors. E is not correct. FPI brings the volatile flows, not the FDI. Correct. So this is all about this question. Next question. Which of the following regulatory bodies in India oversees FDI and FPI, okay, respectively? RBI, SEBI, Ministry of Finance, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, or NITI Aayog. Okay, so right answer is option B, A and D for FDI, B for FPI. A and D for FDI, okay, and B, SEBI for FPI. Okay, ठीक है. FDI is monitored by RBI, okay, under FEMA and DPIIT for policy and approval route. FPI, being a market-based financial investment, is regulated by SEBI. Niti Aayog is a think tank and does not regulate actually the investment, whether it is FPI, whether it is FDI. Okay.